How's it going, guys? We're gonna do a review of basically it says, like you've seen, deluxe multi-tool with the Duck Dynasty emblem on it. Well, they're just the name Duck Dynasty on it. Just forward, if any of you guys have an iPad or iPhone and you want to end up using the print function on your notes, you're gonna use a lot of paper and ink. I thought it would come out simpler. So, I'm not going to do that again. I'm gonna use the iPad for this, but, this is the tool. You can see there it says Duck Dynasty, different camo. This is number 2. If you guys watched, like, the last video, the last couple of videos, you may have noticed that the other multi-tool that was this Duck Dynasty one was, like a darker color, like a dark green. That's because that one actually failed on me so bad that I actually went to take it back and KOHL'S swapped it out. So sorry about the phone going off. So we'll just basically I don't actually really have, I didn't take down and I couldn't get any real information about weight for this tool. I don't own a scale, so I wasn't able to do that for you guys. But, basically we'll just get a run through. It says all implements are stainless steel. There's a saw blade, a knife, lever action scissors, can opener, corkscrew, sewing eye and all, Phillips screwdriver, nail file, flathead screwdriver, and bottle opener. And then you could sort of see like the UPC. You can sort of see the UPC right there, and it is $24 normally over at KOHL'S. Right now it's on sale. We'll get into that. I'll show the page. So slip joint multi-tool, not a traditional multi-tool like a Leatherman or these type. Something like a Victorinox, that sort of multi-tool. I started EDCing this on December 29th of 2013, a few days ago, like 6 or 5. Can be purchased from KOHL'S, that's what I know for sure. My first impressions of this multi-tool is, oh cool, it's camo and Duck Dynasty. The reamer on it looks like crap. Saw looks like it's a little lesser quality than the blade. So, the handle scales, they're solid metal, they're painted in a hunting camo, and it says Duck Dynasty on it on the front metal scale in black, which you can see right there, the metal scales. I'll show you guys the reamer. In no way is this sharp at all. It comes to a very blunt tip. And we'll get a look at the blade. Doesn't have any scratches on it. Very minimal ones, because I got this morning. Yeah. This is a saw. Just to me, it just looks sort of like, it looks unfinished. If you could see the finish on this, it just looks unfinished to me. Let me try to get that. So, there's some pros and cons to this. Pros are the metal scales on this tool does not come with the lanyard. I made that. Just to add that in. The pros, the metal scales make the tool feel more solid and heavy duty. The cons, they make the tool more heavy. I gotta say it's probably like 5 to 6 ounces at least. On first day of carrying, because this is the second one I got on first day of carrying, the first one, the S in Duck Dynasty was scratched off 75% of the way, and part of the K was scratched off in some of the camo. And within a few hours of that, I'm gonna say 25% of the actual lettering Duck Dynasty was scratched off. The handle is actually curved, sorta, if you could see it. I'll bring out the blade so you can see the way it is curved. And that actually makes it pretty ergonomic and actually sort of more comfortable in the hand, just because it's curved. That's for me, it makes it more comfortable like that. The blade has some horizontal play, and I've used this blade on cardboard. It cut very well through it. Blister packaging, which is plastic, cut extremely well, pierced well, also like a knife, hot knife and butter. Paracord, decently, needed to use sawing motion, at least 3 to 4 passes. That was factory edge, not on this one, but on the first one. Factory edge is not the best. I recommend actually sharpening it out right when you get it, if you have the ability to. I've been using this Gerber pocket diamond sharpener, so I've been using that, carrying that around, and it actually works out pretty good on that. I recommend using once you get home, resharpening it again with the same thing at least, and then doing some finer. So like I have a Smith's 3-in-1 sharpener, and I use the ceramic stones, which are finer than the diamond grit. So at least use the diamond and a finer one to finish it up and make your edge more sharper and better. So yeah. Scissors, they were used on paper, cut through well. Paracord couldn't cut through. I actually used it on the ones from last night, the original ones, on this Master Lock cardboard from the packaging. Cut through there. A little bit hard at first, but once it gets going, it cuts very well. But paracord it could not do. The first ones I had, the scissors could be open one-handed. You had to put some effort into. These newer ones cannot. Very tension. And I'll get more talking into that a little bit later on. Keyring looks decent, but when I pulled the lanyard taunt on the first one, it was pulled into an oval. This one, it's a alright, decent split ring on there. Trying to get it to focus for you guys. But sort of basically like the ones you would see on a Victorinox, but I have to think that it's a lesser quality because they're probably not going to use as fine materials, because this is just like a whatever tool. So this one, this lanyard, I didn't pull the ring. I was holding on the paracord and tied it. Nail file and nail cleaner. Although the first one I had, the file part of it looked like straight crap, but it worked pretty good. So, and this one, it sort of had a little bit of gunk in the nail right out of the box. I had the nail where the nail nick is. Phillips screwdriver looks cheap. Cannon screws as it is supposed to. Cannot fit really small screws. The tip is rounded. Couldn't unscrew the screws on the back of a Stanley ratchet. Can slip a lot while using. I'll get a shot because both of the Phillips on here, they are both rounded. It's trying to focus, but yeah, see? It's very blunt tip, like a ballpoint pen. Actually, more bigger than that. The reamer, first impression, looks like crap. Like the creator ran out of ideas to throw in, decided to, and just said, hey, let's throw this on there just to make it look good. I haven't tried it on anything. I could do a quick try right now. Yeah, the reamer sucks. Just tried it on a leather belt. Doesn't work. Victorinox has the right reamer to do. Yeah. Saw first impression looks lesser quality than the knife. I used it on two 1 1/4 inch diameter live tree branches. Cut really well. Provided a nice clean cut. Dead tree branches cut the same as the live tree branches. Clean cuts. Walnut tree bark cut through the bark easily. So the part that I was using on before I ended up was hitting my knuckles on the bark. Was at least like 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch going through, and it was cutting like butter. No problem at all. Clean cut. Lumber cutting straight was no problem. Cutting at an angle was very difficult. I want to say any, like, let's just say wood or any sort of like board or something like that, anything like, let's just say a millimeter or two thin, it's not gonna work out good with that saw in there. After the wood cutting, one tip of the saw's teeth was found to be missing. Very tiny damage to the blade, but it is damage. On this one, it is not on here, but I could show you exactly where it was damaged. So if you could see that last point right there, it was broken off to like a sort of like a, yeah, it's not really working out so good, but it was broken and there was no longer a tip on the most back of the teeth on the saw. To clean the wood off of the saw, I recommend using, like, say, an alcohol prep pad, an alcohol wipe to clean and disinfect. It works really well, and a toothpick to get the wood out of the valleys of the teeth area. Also, the saw can make using the can opener not very comfortable. I wanted to have a bottle. Sorry, I wanted to have a bottle to demonstrate you guys, but I didn't get to go to the store, so I wasn't able to get a metal lid bottle to demonstrate it. But yeah, can opener. Thoughts of it? The tip can be more pointed at the tip. I used it on a 4-inch diameter can, cut through the lid like it's supposed to, but the corkscrew made this uncomfortable, and also the front end of the saw. So, design flaws with this actual multi-tool. It has stronger tension than the can opener, and than the bottle opener. And that's another thing I'll get to more at the end of the video. These are the scissors, spring loaded. We'll go over like quality control stuff later on in the video. Showed you the crappy reamer. Nail file. This one actually looks a little bit better. That's a nail nick. There's design flaws with this multi-tool. Bottle opener and a standard screwdriver. Thoughts? They could have added a wire stripper section like on a Victorinox, but that might have added to price. They could, oh no, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Slip joint tension is very minimal. I mean, it's very minimal. You've seen, like, this is easy. Sorry about bumping in, you guys. Very easy to move. It is not tension at all. Even on this one, this model, this one, even though it's the same type of tool, I got very better tension than the first one I had. This one has like 3 times the tension than the first one I had on a few of the tools. So, yeah, while using the bottle opener, I found that it actually hyperextends to the back. I don't know exactly on this one, but it'll actually hyperextend and it'll actually sort of make you slip your grip while trying to pop the top off while pushing it down to get that. Yeah, it just another quality control problem right there. Of course, these aren't like made by a company. They're not being put, like a good company like Victorinox and stuff like that being out, put out looking for quality stuff. They're just getting out just so they can make a buck. I got an improvement thoughts on this tool. They could laminate the scales, or at least put a gloss coat over it a little bit, something just to protect the camo and the Duck Dynasty emblem, since it's going to be Duck Dynasty related and themed. Should adjust the position of the corkscrew and lower the tip of the saw when it's closed. Corkscrew makes using can opener uncomfortable. On the third, I noticed that one of the Torx pivot screws has fallen out. The tool is still functional, though, and that's the reason why I had to go replace it, because this pivot screw had fallen off, and this wasn't even being used hard use. I'm not working out there in a mine or something and beat this thing up. I'm not going Bear Grylls through the Amazon trying to like dig out stuff and like bust open oysters. I was just using it for regular stuff, and it fell out. I didn't even know it fell out, but it was actually to a point where it was wobbling too dangerously, and it was actually able, if I pushed it down, I could have actually basically took the blade off and pushed the scale up. So that was something. So today, January 4th, I brought my multi-tool to KOHL'S without the receipt and without the packaging. And the woman working in customer service, she even exchanged the multi-tool. So she replaced it because of what was wrong with it. I showed her. So because that was missing, the actual blade would actually hang down like this. That's how much tension it didn't have. And then the Phillips was hanging down like that also, because they're both using the same tension. So we later found, like later on in the, while getting exchanged, like 5 minutes it took, found the receipt, but she was able to replace it for us. Out of the package, both blades had a good edge on them, but not the best. It needs improvement. I recommend sharpening it. Both had horizontal play. Second multi-tool, the scissors were not able to be opened one-handed. Quality control problems. Nail cleaner with the nail nick. I don't think right here in the middle of all these tools is the best thing. The tip, I think it should be more pointed so it could get down and be more accurate. Could be a bottle opener, could be more secured and worked on, so when actually trying to open up a bottle, it doesn't hyperextend. And it could work on the tension. This one has a lot of tension. The only problem with that is the way the scale is made. You only have like a quarter of the nail nick to open it. The saw, as you can see, it sits up a little bit high. So when you're using it, it can be uncomfortable. With this one, I found, while I shut it, it hits one of the spacers so it doesn't fall down into its slot correctly, as you can see right there. So you just push it over to the side. Be careful, pivots can fall out. 2 of them are Torx both sides. really, pretty much that's all the real quality control problems wrong with it. I'm trying to speed this up because it's like almost 20 minutes now. I don't think you guys want to hear 20 minutes about a cheap multi-tool held together by rivets. Basically, it could be better. If you want a cheap multi-tool that you don't care about, this would be it. It's on sale. Normally, so we'll go to the pictures. So normally this would be it. Duck Dynasty Deluxe Multi-Tool. It's originally 24 bucks, but now it's on sale for $9.60. Just basically goes over the specs, saying it's 3/4 of an inch high, 1 inch width, and 3 3/4 of an inch in length. That's basically all it is. It says redneck approved. The Duck Dynasty multi-tool features 10 different tools, camouflage body, making a great item to have handy on a hunting or camping trip. Makes the perfect gift for any fan or outdoorsman. Do not get this if you're going to trust your life to a multi-tool, if you're going to go out hunting or camping. Do not get this. I tell you, you'll regret it. If you really ever came to the situation where you really needed something like that, you're going to regret ever buying this thing, thinking and believing them. Get a Victorinox or something. Anything except for this. Same thing. If you can't find Duck Dynasty version, it's the same thing, just not in camo. It's called a Reward Deluxe Multi-Tool. It's the same thing, just does not come in a camo finish. It just comes in an actual bigger box. And a few different colors like orange, gray, and a black. But that's basically it for this multi-tool. Would I recommend it? No. If it's a gift and you got it, sure, but watch out for it because different tools have different settings on these, because this one has better tension than the one I had. I'll be reviewing this next. I'll be using it. This is the packaging in the front. It has the guys from Duck Dynasty, Willie, Jay, Cy, and Phil. So that's pretty much it. This is the review. Would I recommend this? No. If you want a cheap thing, even for $10, for $10, if you want all these tools, I mean, I think it's alright. I mean, unless you could go get a better quality multi-tool for something with this much functions, more of a fuller size, you'd sort of be stuck with this. Also, by the way, one last thing before I go. There's like 2 ways I found good for using the saw. Like this or like this, depending on how your arm's going to be. Because if you're sawing through stuff, your arm can get tired if you're just sawing stuff constantly. So those are the 2 comfortable ways. But yeah, recommend it? No. Get something better. $10. If it's $10, I think you might be stuck with it. Because there's not really much stuff good multi-tools out there for $10. You're gonna be stuck with like what, a Victorinox Classic SD. If it's in that case, you're better off with this. But if you have the money, and especially if you're gonna buy a $24 regular price, get a Victorinox or something else. Do not get this. Buy yourself a regular knife, then something. Just don't get this. Other than that, pretty much, yeah. I mean, if you want a camo multi-tool, Victorinox sells camo multi-tools. I mean, I know the camo doesn't look like this nice hunting camo, but it's a better quality, and it, of course, will cost a little bit more. So that's just my thoughts about this tool. I want to thank you guys for watching, and have a good night. Hi guys, 2 quick things that we're going to go over that I left out in the review of this Duck Dynasty multi-tool. What we're going to do is just say you can use the tip of this can opener as a little poking device. Let's say you need to adjust something, like let's just say on this little gummy watch, these 2 buttons to adjust the time and the date. Sorry, I went off camera. So for this little gummy watch, you could adjust the time and date by pushing in these 2 buttons, but you would need something like a toothpick or whatever. But if you have this, you can use the tip of the can opener to adjust it. so that comes in handy, or whatever you would need to do with something pokey to reach into a little small push place. So also back to the other features of this knife, the Phillips, the awl, the corkscrew, and the nail file. What you could do is, if you need it in a self-defense situation, the valley that's right there, you could fit. My hand's a small hand, and I'm gonna be using glove sizing small. So my two first fingers, the index and middle finger, can fit in there for a grip such as this. Or if you prefer to have it, whereas let's say the ring finger, even though this is my right hand, your ring finger or your pinky, you could grip it like that. Either way, it still gets the same thing done. You could use like as a defensive punching tool, sort of like one of those Kubotans with protrusions out of it. But those are the two things that I forgot to put in, so this is what I'm gonna add on to the ending of that video. I want to thank you guys for watching, and have a good day.